here we go with what I believe was going to be part 2 of painting the Greaves. I've mixed up a little highlight color. I'm going to try applying it and see how it looks. Yeah, it's not too big of a jump. What I did was take my base mix and I mixed in some really small portions of these two colors to keep the gray and the tan going. Stonewall gray and bone white. And applying it here to the knee pad and the rim. Painting the rim is really an exercise in careful application, because you don't want, I don't want the sort of the line between the pad itself and the rim to get any highlight color in it. I want that to stay dark. At the same time, I want a little bit of dark between the part of the rim that's logically the same material as the main pad on the one hand, and on the other hand the strings, the ties attaching it. And oops, yeah, that's a bit much. And now I'm being more sparing with applying this highlight. When I did the sort of reapplication of the base coat, I kind of went a little bit all over the place. I fixed some places where there was too much shade. But now this is actual highlighting. This is just doing the parts that should receive an actual highlight. And that's, on the one hand, it's faster because you're hitting less area. On the other hand, I have to think more about what I'm doing. That's always an issue. Not just going by reflex, but actually looking at the model and thinking about where things like colors, shades, highlights should actually be. And the thing is, do I want to, okay, let's, there's a bit too much paint on my brush here. Do I want to go in here between these strings a little bit? Just a little bit. Well, I'm not sure when this will get uploaded. I'll try to keep it during the weekdays, I think, because the last couple of videos I uploaded about the leather, about painting the belts and whatever, I don't know if that was an uninteresting subject, but they've gotten much fewer views than the other parts of this series. And one theory I have is that it's because I uploaded it during the weekend. It was on a, was it a Friday, Saturday, or was it Saturday, Sunday? I don't recall. And maybe that's a bad viewing time. Maybe people are busy doing other stuff then and don't want to watch silly videos on YouTube about miniature painting. That's one theory. So I'm going to test that theory by staying away from uploading stuff during those hours, well, those days, so to speak. That is, no, sorry, I forgot one area. I forgot the bottom here. I have to get these. They're not going to get many more highlights. I'm going to do like, I know, 1 or 2, maybe 3 more highlights, but not all of them will get placed on all areas. The final ones will like only get placed on the tops of the knee pads, because those should be the brightest areas. So I'm gradually going to shrink them more and more, which means they're going to go faster and faster. Now I just have to think, what's the next color in the progression? What happens? Do I want to make it more gray? No, I think... Okay. I think I'm just going to try to mix in some bone white here to get the next highlight. Because I don't think I need to take it more gray. Let's see what happens if I take a bit of that and mix some gray into it. No, I wanted the relative dullness compared to the other leather, and I think I've achieved that. But I don't want to go all the way with it, so to speak. I think maybe I should bring a bit more warmth into the highlights. Let's see what happens if I do this. Now I'm just highlighting top half of the knee pad and underlining this cut here. Okay, that was a bit of a jump. But maybe that's good. Let's see if I take even less paint on the brush. And just... We'll have to see what happens when it dries. Keep it thin. So, can you tell the difference between this and this? I hope so. I'm bringing up some brightness here. Maybe keep a little of it right here, like on the top. See what happens when I place it here. See, when first I put it down, it looks like a big jump, but I don't know. Kind of like it. Coming up on the 10-minute mark here. So might have to stop the video. I'm pretty much done with this highlight anyway. This is the final one I'm gonna do on these portions. There, near the shoes. Yeah, that's the second highlight done. So I'm just going to pause here and mix up the third. So it's time to go in with the third highlight. Not a huge jump from the previous one. and very sparingly applied. I'm just bringing out sort of the pants crease in the front, so to speak. Maybe I want a little bit here. Like I said, to show off the calf muscle. Yeah, that looks good. And up top here, am I in frame? Yeah. So whenever I have like one of these cuts in the leather, I want to bring in the latest highlight and just kind of, oops, that was way too much. Kind of underline it. See, I don't know if you see the contrast there. Make that pop a little bit. We have one here, one there, and maybe one here. Okay, so let's put down, okay, I'm looking at my palette now and just seeing what will happen if I take a little bit of pure bone white, thin down, extremely small amount here, and just bring it like this, so, for a final sheen, and maybe the bottom part here. Just maybe, can you see the difference here when I just added those spot highlights? I hope you can. It's difficult to know how the lighting comes across on camera. My camera is not, they say the camera doesn't lie, but you know, getting the exact same perception of color on film as I get in real life has proven difficult. Sometimes the camera, oops, almost dropped my, well, I did drop my brush there, but thankfully something caught it. Sometimes the camera doesn't see the same thing I do. But I think that is pretty good. Just underline these cuts a little more drastically. Looking at it from afar, yeah. So, 15 minutes. Do I have time to finish this in this video, or is this going to be a three-parter? No, I think we'll have to do a short, very short part 3, just to paint all of the strings that are attached. They need to be some color. I haven't done the rims for a while. Let's see if I can just add some small dots here to bring those out. I'm thinking the strings will be one of the previous leather colors. I'm not sure between the Beastie Brown and the leather brown. The Beastie Brown would be more contrast because it's a richer color. And yeah, we'll do a test run. I think what I'm gonna do next part is to paint, like for example, this string one Beastie Brown and this string leather brown, and then we'll compare and contrast and see which works best. And the other one, you know, there's not a lot of time wasted. I'll just paint over the one that I don't like. You know, I'm going against what I said. I'm just adding a little dot here. Anyway, now I've talked so much that we're coming up on nearly a 20-minute mark. Well, I think we're at 17 or 18. That'll be all for part 2. And part 3 will be finishing up the Greaves. See you then. I'm Dakiya, and I'm signing off.